Welcome to the Let's Ruin It podcast, where we take your favorite pop culture media, put a legal spin on it, and like all lawyers, we ruin it. I'm very happy to welcome you here today. Several of us are wearing our wedding white.
I actually didn't even think of that. But yeah, all right.
We are celebrating the 20-year anniversary of The Wedding Crashers.
I can't believe it's 20 years.
Yes, it's been 20 years. It came out in 2005.
We're
and I'm one
You're
of your
old.
hosts, Diana, and with me are my glorious co-hosts.
Glorious.
Yourselves.
Hello, my name is Jenny. I am glorious.
Fantastical. I am Liz. I am happy to be here.
And also glorious.
Why, thank you.
Very excited to do this movie. Shocked.
Love this movie.
After rewatching this movie, just quite how many legal issues.
Faux pas?
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think it's faux pas.
It's criminal.
It's bad.
It's bad. And I didn't think that until I rewatched it. I was like, oh, everything's a crime.
Yeah.
Everything.
Literally
Everything.
every scene, there's something wrong with
It is
every
We're
bad.
scene.
actually having a hard time narrowing, trying to keep this short because
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
There, and when we watched it 20 years ago, we thought it was so funny.
Oh,
It
so
so
funny.
good.
Everything
I
was so
mean,
funny.
to be fair, on rewatch, it was still funny.
It's still
most
funny.
parts.
It's still funny. And a lot of it did not age well.
Agreed.
I was a lawyer already at that point.
Okay.
When it came out. And I don't know if that, but I have to say it's so weird. Like, I like, they're funny. They're funny
Yeah.
guys. I never really loved this movie. I got to be honest.
I love
It's
that.
weird because everybody said, "Oh my God, how do you not love Wedding
Yeah.
Crashers?" Everybody thought it was hilarious. Maybe deep down inside, I was troubled by all the legal stuff. I don't know.
Rightly so.
But it bugged me. Like there were some parts of it that I was just like, that ain't funny. Like that's not cool. You know, like
Yep.
it did bother me. Like I never really was gung ho
Yeah.
about it. You know.
So when this movie came out, I was 21 and I had just started law school.
Okay.
And I absolutely thought it was hilarious because I
Sure.
didn't know anything. And I was just like, yep, everything's good.
yeah.
It also this movie also ushered in sort of a new era of R-rated comedies.
Oh, yeah.
And this
Yeah.
type of kind of very inappropriate humor that has not aged well in any way, shape, or form. Similar to what we talked about in
a lot of it's
It's like
maybe
that whole era-
unsurprisingly starring Vince Vaughn.
Right.
But hey.
yeah.
Right. It was just like
Yeah.
there was an era of these like Will Ferrell,
Yeah, like
Owen
old
Wilson,
school.
Old
Luke
school,
Wilson.
but old school,
yeah.
I do think is funny. I love.
But you
old
know what?
school.
I bet you if
Let's
you
rewatch it and
rewatch
see.
old
I
school
I
now,
bet you there's definitely issues
I can
there.
even think of a
where
few.
these old farts are going to the frat house.
Yes,
yeah,
with,
yeah.
like, the-
seducing young girls.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
no, it's ick. And
It's sick.
and I had thought that this movie was like not as bad as those until
No.
I rewatched it.
Oh, it's bad.
bad.
Yeah,
Very
no,
bad.
how I know, but upon memory,
I
in
mean-
my memory, it wasn't the worst. It wasn't like as crude. It wasn't as explicit. And then I rewatched it.
And you were like, oh man,
Shit.
this
Yeah, it's not good.
This is
It's
not
a
good.
bad.
The premise, the general premise, is that these two lifelong best friends are literally wedding crashers. They find
It's
weddings
an interesting
to go
career,
to.
huh?
Yeah,
you know what?
but they've been doing it clearly forever
Right.
Yeah,
because they know it so well. They know the system.
They know the system.
They
They
have a list
plan.
of rules that they follow,
Right.
which the rules can change and can be broken, but
as we've seen.
but
they are very,
generally they follow the rules.
right, and they are very sort of. They have to follow the rules. Like there's Rule 76, and then there's Rule whatever, and they are very big on following the rules, and they have a plan, and this is their sort of part-time job, even though they're not getting paid for it. Their real job, however,
Dun, 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 dun.
Much to my shame.
they are divorce mediators. Now, they're not divorce attorneys. Not everyone can be perfect.
No.
But they are divorce mediators. And so the brilliant opening scene is the two of them jointly mediating a divorce. And
Dwight Yoakam
you said,
and
I can't think of the wife's name.
and I know Rebecca De Mornay.
Yes.
They play the
DeMornay,
couple.
who I adore.
Yeah, they play the couple who absolutely hate one another at the opening of this
Yeah.
mediation. I will say this. That scene has been used
Yes.
in nobody knows what I'm talking about. Continuing legal education classes.
Yeah.
Like when you're learning about mediation and divorce and stuff like that. It's actually been used
I
as
didn't know
an
that.
example. Yep. My partner actually did a presentation and used that opening scene to explain the good points about
And the
how they
bad
got
points.
mediation right, and then also some of the stuff were maybe not so good.
I find that interesting because
Yeah.
I don't do family law. I'm not familiar with the that area of the law as much, obviously. And
Again,
so
not
I was-
everyone can be perfect.
I know.
Yep.
So I was wondering, from your perspective, your thoughts on that.
Well,
whole
I thought
scene.
they didn't do such a bad job. They were very good at manipulating them.
Yes.
And I have to say, as much as I don't want to say this, there is a measure of manipulation that goes on in mediation to try to get people to think about other things, come to the table, really as a mediator. And I am one. So in fact, I did a mediation yesterday, and that was my job, to try to get these two parties to think about other options for settling their cases, because they're clearly we're at a loggerheads and we're not getting anywhere. And so I'm there trying to say, well, would you consider this? What do you think about this idea? And I'm trying to just brainstorm, and that's what I told them. We're going to try and brainstorm and see if we can come up with a creative way that you can settle this, because you can be creative in mediation. You can't be creative in a courtroom.
Yeah, of course.
It's basically you're getting it, you're not getting it, or the judge is going to do what the judge wants to do.
Right.
So you can take control in a mediation, and that's what I love about it.
The-
and they did a good job.
I think the thing that stood out to me the most that I would have done differently is he had them all in a room together, which is just a recipe for disaster.
It can be. It absolutely can
Right?
be. And I also think they let the bickering go on too long.
Too long.
Too much sniping back and forth. I get it. It's the movies. You want to show
Sure.
the hatred, whatever. That was not productive.
If that happens in real, when I'm at a mediation, and if
I
that
would've
happens
cut
in
that
real
off.
life,
Yeah.
and if the mediator does not cut that off, and if the mediator lets it go too far and doesn't take
step
control,
in.
I feel like I have to step in and I have to say to the mediator, cut it off because this isn't productive. But it also signals to me that the mediator's not doing the job that he or
You
she's supposed
expect
to be
them to
doing,
do.
and I expect them to be doing.
Because you do expect it to be. And honestly, when my little spiel that I gave them yesterday, I said, this is a safe space.
Yeah.
You need to feel that you're safe to be able to say what you're going to say. No one's going to use it against you. It's not going to get reported back to the court.
Which is
'Cause
why-
the only way we're going to try and get somewhere is to everybody to speak freely,
Yeah.
throw out ideas, and not have it shoved back in their face.
Which
you
is
know?
why they should all be in separate rooms.
Well, and that's what
wife and her
surprised me.
lawyer, husband and his
And
lawyer.
to be
should have been in
frank,
separate
after
rooms.
I gave my spiel to everybody at the beginning,
separated
I
them out.
separated them.
Yes.
No, that's
one was in
important.
one conference room and one was in
course.
the other conference room. And I said, and I'm going to be your liaison and go back and forth.
Right, because
So,
that's how
yes,
all
yeah.
mediations I've ever done, which were
Yeah.
not divorce mediations, but from any kind of civil case that I've been on, you sit
You
there
caucus.
and you sit there,
Mm-hmm.
you let your client talk, you talk to the mediator. The mediator is not going to take everything you've said, because they're going to pick out the things that maybe are not as inflammatory and
Right.
said out of anger, and
Right.
then they go to the other side.
Oh, I
and you sit
definitely,
there and
I
you just
definitely
check your
watered
email.
down quite a few comments.
But you have to.
You have to.
Otherwise, it devolves into what we see in this opening scene.
Right.
Where
With the
they're
screaming
with the
and
screaming.
the-
And he says he wants the miles because he earned those miles. And she said, you earned those miles because you were flying to Denver to see your whore. And so then that, of course, begs the
I
question.
silently applauded that.
But listen, then that brings up the question of equitable distribution. Yes, he earned those miles to go see his whore.
But anything that's earned during the marriage is in the pot.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't matter
all-
how
it
he
doesn't
earned
matter
it.
who earned it.
Or how.
Yeah,
She's
it's
entitled
all
to
in the
them,
pot, and she
right?
is entitled to it. But as Jenny and I were discussing before we started, splitting up miles is a giant pain in the ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard.
The only note I had about the mediation, because I was like, oh, I don't know divorce mediation, but I was like, couldn't they just split the miles? And
It's
I,
just
I,
a
I
big
mentioned it,
pain
and they were
because
like, no, it's really hard.
It's hard because it technically is in it, whoever's name is on that
Yes.
card. That's who they belong to. So it's hard to do. We've done it, but it's
hard
tough.
to split them. It's also hard to transfer them. Maybe it's easier nowadays.
The
I don't know.
the
I
other
haven't
thing
done
that I
in a
thought was
while.
weird is that there was two of them. Generally, you don't have
Yes.
two mediators.
You
I
do.
mean,
yeah,
that's
that
how
was
they
weird.
work.
Why did they have two mediators? Because it
Because
doesn't
it's
seem like
their
they worked together.
spiel
It
and
didn't
their
seem like
movie.
they were part of the same firm. It seems like they just came together for this mediation, because you don't see them interacting at an office. You
Right,
see,
right.
you see Vince Vaughn's character.
Well, I mean,
Jeremy,
and honestly,
in his
the only
office.
indication that we get that they have this as a career is just that opening scene.
That's
you
it.
don't really
No,
see it.
No, his secretary at one point walks into the office.
And I wanted to mention that.
Oh,
was
okay.
The secretary, I found it to be kind of like a workplace, sexual harassment there, because she goes in there
You think?
and she says something about dating, and then he starts going on this tirade about and dating, and then who's gonna he's talking about the sex part of it, and then you're wondering, are we gonna are we
That's
gonna
right, he
are
goes on
hips
this
gonna
rant.
gyrate, are they gonna they're gonna rub against each other, and he gets very kind of sexually
Maybe
explicit with her on this
not a
one of those Vince
conversation to
Vaughn,
have
those
with an
Vince
employee.
Vaughn quick whatever his whole spiel
Soliloquies.
to someone who's either his paralegal or his secretary, and she's just okay, because she was trying to set him up with someone. And although she invited the conversation of like personal life and dating, he then took it into a fairly sexual place.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was like, I made a note and I was like, harassment in the workplace. Like,
Could be.
sexual.
I mean, not in 2005, but maybe in
But, like,
2025.
he's her superior and
Yeah.
he's talking sexually explicitly
It
to
could
her.
be a hostile work environment if that's not something she wanted to hear.
Sure.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the entire scene, of the entire divorce mediation scene, is when they're both fighting like crazy, and Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are trying to like distract them and find some sort of commonality and common ground. And I don't remember which one of them, but one of them says, the real enemy here is the institution of marriage.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Have wiser words ever been
Never.
spoken?
Right? That's just really, it should be printed on all our dollar bills.
So down with marriage. That's what
Well,
we're doing.
not on our dollar bills, on our website.
The problem is just marriage is, the social construct of
But at
marriage.
the end of the day, that is what got the two of them to agree. And he was like, honey, it's okay.
Yeah,
Take
yeah,
the
yeah.
miles. And she was like, all right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
They bonded over the fact that marriage sucks. I mean, is that the
I think-
romantic part of the story?
Well,
I
and,
don't know.
and that also sets,
Whatever works, babe.
it very well sets up who these characters are.
Yes.
They're not looking to settle down. They're just there
No.
for a good time. They go wedding to wedding. They give false names. They're not giving their real names. They're not
Nope.
giving their real professions. They're not looking to build any bonds with anyone. They're looking
In
for
fact,
one
that's-
fun night and then move on to the next
they're
fun
also-
night.
That's forbidden. No falling in love.
Right.
None of that.
But also, they're smooth talkers, they're fast talkers, and they're master manipulators.
Amazing. So
Like, that scene sets all of it
amazing.
up, right?
Amazing.
So let's talk about that because I feel like that's the whole
That's like the-
underpinning of the art of the crash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
right?
And
I love
and
that.
what the art is fraud and misrepresentation.
And trespassing.
And trespassing.
Fabulous.
Amazing.
Underpinnings of all crime.
The entire basis of what they do,
Conspiracy?
the wedding crashing that they conduct.
I mean, I
is
guess there was a conspiracy in there. They
Oh, no.
plotted it together. Yeah.
it is, and that would heighten like all of these
The
different,
ramifications,
yeah,
yeah.
all of the liability. So fraud and misrepresentation.
Yeah.
Jeremy and John, those are characters. They lie to gain access to these private events,
Right.
under false pretenses. They
Yeah.
pretend to be other guests or related to family members, and while
Uncle Ned's kids.
on its own may not be a crime.
Sometimes it
if
works.
there's any kind of gain involved, which there kind of is, you are getting free food, you're getting free drinks, you're getting favors or whatever else
true.
you're getting from a wedding. That's financial gain. That fraud and false representation.
I guess-
There's a theft there.
There's a theft.
There is a theft element.
Yes.
Now, obviously, I don't know how much they're consuming, so we don't know if it's a petty theft. We don't know if it's grand
But
theft.
it is criminal.
Depending on
It
how
is
much,
criminal.
it absolutely is because you are not an invited guest.
No.
You are not authorized to
Where
be there.
are they sitting? The
Right.
seating, are they
Are
blowing
there
up
no
the
seating
chart?
charts? I wondered. There are no
None.
seating charts? Like, I don't understand.
Or are they just kind of hopping?
I
from
feel
seat
like
to
they
seat
were
when people
hopping.
Get up to
Yeah.
dance?
I
Yeah.
think that's what it is.
Um,
but you know what? You have to sit when someone's giving a speech. Like, there are
They're
times
up
when you're
there.
supposed to be in your
But
seat.
these people,
The DJ, the MC
Oh
says,
my God.
everyone take your seats.
yes, but also they're in every
making
major
toasts.
photograph.
Every
They're
photo.
dancing with
They're-
everybody.
They don't stay out like in the background. They are
No.
inserting
Yeah.
themselves.
No, some of the rules are dance with the flower girl, dance with the mother of the bride.
They're
So
giving
like,
toasts.
Bing,
They're
bing,
giving speeches
giving
at the wedding.
speeches.
It's obscene.
What was the one? Mazel tov? I don't know.
They were doing the horror.
It's amazing. Yes.
One of my thoughts was, can these people whose weddings they're crashing, can they sue them civilly? And I
Yes.
think the answer is
Yes.
probably yes.
Yes.
I have that
But-
on my list.
right.
They can be sued.
But
Not,
I
it's not
wonder-
only criminal liability, but
definitely
civil
civil.
liability.
But I suppose the
yeah.
question is anyone really taking this case on from the criminal perspective?
Probably not, but the civil I would.
Right, civil, they are, I
Well,
mean,
interesting. So I started thinking about that. So not only the civil, actual monetary damages. What about the possibility of an intentional infliction of emotional distress?
Right.
And you know what I started thinking about? Bridezillas. The Bridezilla wants the wedding to be perfect.
And now
you've got this uninvited element that's throwing everything off.
But isn't-
and that could cause her great stress.
Right, like suddenly there's always like random these strangers are in my wedding photos and they crash like
While I'm
if
cutting
it
the
ever
cake.
dawns on them that they're these imposters
Right, like, who
had
are these
gained
people?
access to my wedding and are in all the photos and in the video and they gave toasts and they deceived the couple.
Let me tell you how upsetting that could be, okay? I still, to
Tell
this
us,
day,
Liz. Tell us.
this day,
Cleanse.
am angry. And no, they were invited. My goddamn cousins are on my wedding video talking about the Yankee score because I got married in October and the Yankees were in the playoffs and they're yakking. They're on my video. Oh, Yankees are winning 4-0. I'm going, what is this? Like,
Why didn't you just cut them out?
I mean,
That's
my
edit.
video guy should have,
Edit.
but he did not because this was, back in the day. And
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
have the
everything.
technology back
They
then.
didn't have the
They didn't have that
technology.
technology. You can't cut something out of a video back then. Are you kidding?
Was it?
I still complain
Was
about
it-
it now.
was it black and-
Imagine another
I
bride
mean,
with these strangers
honestly,
in
Was
there.
the video in black and white?
Yeah.
Shut
Was it-
you.
Was it a talkie?
Oh.
No,
was
no,
it
it's
a
silent
silent
until
film?
you see
now-
the words underneath. It's like
now
the
you're
Yankees!
dead
Exclamation
to me.
point!
Stop it. You're dead to me now.
The
Stop.
Yankees exclamation point.
Exclamation point! You know how they did back then.
I'm surprised you didn't say we're talking about the Yankees and the Civil War. Like, screw you.
I'd have to know,
I know
more about the
nothing.
Civil War for
I
that.
don't know anything about the Yankees in the 1800s. I can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
The most
God.
I can do is
I
make fun of
hate
silent
you so
films.
much
I don't
right
know.
now.
I don't know. I can't opine on that. But
Anywho,
so they're
it can be very upsetting.
it's
is all I'm
upsetting,
saying.
and also like it's criminal trespass, entering private events without permission.
Yeah.
It's especially.
So then I thought about, do you think the venue has any liability
Yes.
civilly
I think,
to the bride and groom for not
Properly
but,
safeguarding.
I mean, I don't know.
No.
Like when you walk into a venue,
Yeah.
it's not like anybody
There's no,
checks
like,
your ID.
security.
No, of course
right?
not.
So
I think there's an assumption, and like you assume the risk that like you as the person contracting for the services of this venue, the duty's on you to make sure that everyone in there is an invited
he's
guest.
supposed to be there.
But
right?
I also think unless it's
Well,
some,
I was thinking about it conceptually, like a deep pockets theory. Like, are you suing the venue for not
you
checking
know what?
them
Honestly,
at the door?
if you're suing, you might as well, right? If you're gonna go sue Happy, you might
Just
as well.
add them. If you're suing
some sort of
if you're
negligence.
suing John and Jeremy,
I mean, expect
add,
a motion to
yeah,
to
add the venue,
dismiss.
add the
but hey,
venue, sure, add the venue.
or a settlement. I don't know.
Right.
But I was
nuisance
thinking
money, go away money, as I call it.
yeah. But also, I was thinking more along the lines of if you have like a high profile event, then I think the venue has far more responsibility, which leads us to the Cleary wedding,
like
the actual main event
I
of
mean,
this
we're
movie.
talking the secretary. Was he
Secretary of the Treasury.
Wait,
right?
but
So
before then,
he's a highfalutin.
There's another
Yeah.
aspect of this. They at some point are impersonating military officials.
Yes.
And they have the
Purple Hearts.
and that they're and whether or not
This
those are real
was-
Purple Hearts that they stole, or if they are just pretend, or even if they didn't have the Purple Hearts, if you are impersonating a military veteran,
Yeah.
a war hero,
Yeah.
that's stolen valor. That's
It is.
the
There is a Stolen Valor Act. We both
Yeah.
saw that. Yep. And so that is a federal crime.
Federal
Yes.
crime. That's
We're talking
fraud,
heavy duty
that false-
now.
Yes.
in that whole montage of when they're going from bridesmaid to bridesmaid and wedding guest to wedding guest, every single scene involves one of them saying, "We lost a lot of good men."
We
out
lost a
there."
lot of good men.
Oh, man.
We lost a lot of good
And
men.
then at one point, one of them talks about like playing
He's
for the
playing
Yankees.
for the
or
Yankees. He's
something.
like, yeah, we lose them to trades and to
Yes.
crazy fans. I don't want to talk about it. Like, I love that
it's just
scene.
so hard for me.
The other element of this whole wedding crashing business
Mm-hmm.
is there's that sexual, like the issue of sexual consent and coercion.
Yeah.
They're engaging in sexual relationships based on fabricated identities,
That's the
emotional manipulation,
Yes.
and in many cases, like a large consumption of alcohol, which in some scenes you see that they're the ones encouraging shots and
Yeah,
drinking,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
they take these girls home. There's a whole montage. I was actually very
Yes.
surprised at how many boobs we saw.
The one that really,
Like,
really
it's
bothered
just like
me
there's
about
all
the
these
whole
girls
thing.
like
It's
montage
just-
of girls just falling down on the bed,
Yeah.
topless, and they're just bedding these women
But-
under false pretense, like under like fraudulent
But
means.
hold
Yeah.
on, is that any different from catfishing? Is that any different from a guy throwing up a fake profile picture on whatever the dating
You know what I
website
would
is of the
probably
moment?
say to you though is that with the catfishing and the fake profile stuff, yes, it's emotional manipulation, but most
Yeah.
of the time you're not meeting
Right,
these
it's-
people, or when you do meet them in person,
see that it's
you can
different.
see it's different, so you're not falling
Okay.
for it. So
I don't,
this is
I
different.
don't. It wouldn't. That part is not.
You know?
It's not criminal. It would be probably you'd have a civil claim for emotional distress.
But don't you have to show intentional infliction of emotional distress? Don't you have to show some sort of physical ramification?
Right, but those physical ramifications can be like psychological, like it made you sick, like with like you went on antidepressants afterwards, like that's
Or
an
you have
injury.
PTSD.
Right.
Like,
So,
and you've
but all
got-
of these women,
maybe they're
Insomnia,
in therapy,
all of
and-
it.
Yeah.
And,
but then that's what all of these women would have to prove, is what you're saying?
for negligent, but the argument here is
It was
could it
intentional.
be intentional infliction of emotional distress? Because if they
So if it's
they
intentional,
but that's
they
if
don't
they
have
had
to prove it?
if they had an intent to I guess to emotionally to cause you emotional distress.
I guess my
And I
question
guess
is,
you'd have to prove that that was their intent.
I guess my question is, it's 1,000% very sleazy,
Mm-hmm.
very creepy,
God, yeah.
morally, ethically, we're all on the same
Mm-hmm.
page about it. But I guess I'm struggling to understand the difference between that and like you meet a guy at a bar and he sells you some like sob story and you go home with him. You know what I mean?
Yes, I mean,
are they being thrown in jail? The
They're
women,
not.
by the way, in no scene is it ever implied that the women are not consenting. That they're under the influence of some sort.
But I mean, there are a lot of scenes of their heavily drinking, and it's
Sure.
usually them being like, salute and shots
Yes,
and whatever.
but there's no
like,
scene where like the women are like fall down drunk. And
we don't see that.
No,
but if there
And
is
thank
that,
God, because I don't think
well,
that
if there
would be
is,
entirely different
if there is,
conversation.
and like, but if you let's say you prove that he was encouraging all of us to be drinking, he kept throwing me shots, and like that's part of the reason why I went home with him, even though I wasn't even sure who he really was. Like then it could constitute like sexual assault because you lack the capacity like to consent. You can't consent because you're like too tipsy.
I guess, but again, they don't cover that in the movie.
They don't
at
cover
all,
it.
right?
It's just something I
we
noted,
sort
yeah.
of we're extrapolating. But
And then the whole thing, the legal severity of it is escalated by the fact that it's a conspiracy and they work together.
Yeah,
so
right.
every single thing we're talking about, like with this
Like,
crashing
times
business,
two, at
is times
least.
two,
Yeah.
and it's a heightened
yeah, I don't know. I guess if one of these women goes and says, he told me his name was Sam, but his
that's
name
fine.
is actually
I mean,
John.
that's fine.
Right? I don't.
fine.
That's not any sort of criminal act. Again,
You can go to a bar, meet someone, and be like, "I'm a prima ballerina,"
Yeah,
and then
right.
go home with that guy, and then they're
that's
like,
not a
"No, you're
crime.
not."
That's not a crime.
Yeah, it's not a crime.
So in this case, they're not. They're
But
not
they're already committing
forcing.
so many other
Yes,
they're like already
yes.
there as trespassers. They're
Yes.
there, the fraud, everything there. I feel like the totality of it could be worked into a case.
All
I
right.
would be creative with it if someone wanted me to take.
All
that
right.
case.
I mean, I'm here for you.
Yeah,
I'm here
I
for
like
you.
a challenge. It's creative.
Well, and then we get to what Vince Vaughn basically calls the like
Creme de la creme.
creme de la creme of weddings to
Weddings,
crash.
yeah.
And he does all of this research on the Secretary of the Treasury, played by Christopher
I
Walken.
mean, Christopher.
Does anyone have a good Christopher Walken impression? I do not. I won't
I
attempt
won't
it.
even try it.
No. I
Nature
need more
versus nurture.
cowbell, baby.
No, that was no. And he says at one point to Bradley Cooper's character, "Nature versus nurture. Nature always wins." I can't do it.
No,
I can't do
can't
it.
do it.
There are a lot of funny stories about him online, and a lot of like videos and like clips of people like talking about like their run-ins with him. He's
Yeah.
like very entertaining. I mean, there's also
probably
the,
just
there's
stays
also
in
the
character.
conspiracy of whether or not he had anything to do with Natalie Wood's murder. So
Oh,
there's
I
also
have
that.
I
Yeah.
have heard that
So
story.
there's
yes.
also that.
That's funny. I never heard that.
I've heard that.
I always thought the
Yes.
theory that it was Robert, her husband.
Robert Wagner,
Wagner.
but there was only a few people on that boat,
Including
and it was
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken,
I actually
Robert
didn't even
Wagner,
realize he
the
was on the
captain,
boat.
and Natalie Wood.
How weird is that? I
And
didn't know
that's it.
that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was involved, but he knows something.
We're not saying he knows something because that would be defamation.
Yeah.
So
I mean, saying
Preface that.
he knows something about something.
about something,
Sure.
right?
He has knowledge about
That's
something.
a general something. He knows something.
He knows something. He has learned something in
So
life.
this very important fella, his daughter is getting married, and it's a huge wedding. And this is the part where I think the venue has some kind of negligence because you've got to think that there's got to be security for this event.
Right.
No Joe Schmo is walking in to the
I
church.
honestly don't know whether the Secretary of the Treasury has. They don't have Secret
No,
Service or
no,
anything, right?
I don't
Like,
think he would have Secret Service, but I
What
would
about
think.
bodyguards? What do you think?
I don't know, but I would think that he would at least have private security for a wedding because not
Assuming
only
you're going to have some high-profile guests.
and he did because they
When
pointed
they had the
out
engagement party later on,
or the
and-
reception. You mean?
No. Later on, when
later when they get engaged.
because he
when
says
Gloria-
the
Yeah,
security's
yes.
going to be really tight. We have to come in looking like waiters.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Who protects the Treasury Secretary?
Oh, they
he
do
does
have
have personal
some. Oh, you
security
see?
by
protection.
the Secret Service.
So
okay.
Oh,
so
look
the
at
Secret
that.
Service dropped the ball
I guess so.
and basically led these two in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. See
But
that? But I will say, one thing that does matter about the fact that he holds this position is that like all of their deception this time constitutes lying to a federal official.
Yep.
And if
True.
you lie to a federal agent or an official, that's actual a felony. Like,
Yeah.
That's a felony in itself. Like even if you're not stealing anything, just the act of like misrepresenting yourself and the fraud, it gets heightened. It's
Right.
a felony. So I think I don't. They don't touch upon that in the
They
film. But I
no,
thought-
I mean they touch upon very little that
Very
actually
little.
has to do with the law.
But the fact that he holds that position, he's not just a powerful businessman, but that
No.
they made him an actual government official.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, this whole fun business of wedding crashing
It's
becomes
not
a
so-
felony.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they do all this recon work on his
yeah.
whole family,
Oh, yeah.
on all the family members, on Aunt Liz
But
and
weird that
Uncle
they didn't
Ned.
know Aunt Liz was dead. How did they not know
No,
that?
well, that's because Owen Wilson didn't read the
violated
the
dossier.
dossier.
Rule number 32: don't commit to a relative unless
They
said
have
relative has a
pulse.
pulse.
Yes.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Because at one
And
point,
then Owen retorts back, Rule 16: update the family tree. So
I mean, both valid
valid
arguments.
points.
I love
I'm
how much
gonna
work
say.
went into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much work they did. Remember, this is like before really social media.
Oh,
like,
yes.
The amount of work it must have taken to create these dossiers and to create all of this is like
By the way, none of
pretty
this would have
impressive.
yeah.
none of this would have been possible in 2025
No,
because
the second you meet someone at a wedding, they find you on any kind of social media.
Oh,
just
yeah,
immediately
no,
Google it.
right.
You can't impersonate anyone these
No.
days. There's no misrepresentation to get gain
No, what did
entry.
they say? They were like venture capitalists or something. I mean,
Just Google it.
you'd
now
be
you
able,
just Google it.
right? You'd be able to find them in a hot
Oh, what's the
minute.
name of your business? Okay, here you go.
Yeah, right.
Like as they're at the dinner table telling me about their business, I am Googling to find out this business. Yeah.
Right. Siri, please.
So I feel like, yeah, this movie couldn't really work out these days. Like, you couldn't make Wedding Crashers now because scene
Not the
one
same
would be everyone
way.
being like, you're full of shit.
Not the same way. And by the way, Bradley Cooper was onto them. We'll get to Bradley
Oh my
Cooper.
God. It's so funny to see him like this.
Yes. So they go to this wedding.
Yep.
Vince Vaughn immediately lays his eyes on Isla Fisher.
I love her in
And
this.
Owen Wilson falls in love with Claire, who is
McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. I mean, what a cast.
May I? Okay. I hate
No, don't say it.
Claire's character in
Oh,
this.
I thought you were going to say Rachel
Okay.
McAdams.
I remember even thinking this when I first saw the movie, and last night I thought it again. She is that like cool girl trope of like
Yeah.
I'm not like other girls. I'm laughing because of how silly these vows
Yes,
are that my
yes.
sister and her husband are saying to each other because they're like nautical. And then I'm laughing at a Klingon joke, and oh my God, I'm not like a normal girl. I'm like a cool girl. It's very like to me it was like the quintessential like pick me girl, and I hated her character. There was no depth to her beyond that.
Do you know that girl?
I liked Isla Fisher more as like the psycho.
Do you know? Do you follow that girl? Wherever she is, TikTok, Facebook, I don't know. Her name is Delaney Rowe, I think.
No.
And she acts out these like tropes from these 90s movies. And it's
Oh,
always
okay.
like when you're that like that cool girl or like that
a-
artistic girl who's pretending to
How
be
to
shy.
lose a guy in 10 days. Oh, I'm really eating burgers, but then I'm going to get like salad in
You
front of
have to.
him.
Her
It's like,
name
oh,
is-
she's so cool.
Her
She
name
eats
is
burgers.
Delaney Rowe, if I'm not mistaken.
gonna look it up.
She's so good. You would love this.
I hate those.
This is
I hate
exactly
the whole
what she
pick me thing. It's
does.
like, I love sports. It's like, no, who gives a shit? I don't like sports. Like,
So
be
now,
yourself, ladies.
so now Owen Wilson.
That's the advice.
That's
That's
it.
the
Be
advice.
yourself
friggin'
and
self.
be proud of it. Don't be a pick me
So
girl.
Owen Wilson decides that he must have Rachel McAdams, and he's now playing the long game. He throws out every rule because Vince Vaughn says to him, "You know what the rules are. We go to the ceremony, we go to the reception,
And then that's it.
then that's done. Like we move on to the next wedding." And he's like, "No, we're gonna extend this weekend. I'm not done yet.
That
I need more
upset me a
time."
lot. I was like, whoa.
Well, my other hot take on this is Owen Wilson is such a villain in this throughout the whole thing. He is one of the worst people ever. I hate him.
He's not good.
Wow.
No redeeming qualities at all. Vince Vaughn is the funny one. Vince Vaughn is a charming one. And he's a good friend. And then Owen Wilson is
Yes.
a shit friend,
I agree.
non-supportive.
I will agree with that.
And like literally, I don't think he's interesting or fun, and just sucks from beginning
got
to
a-
end.
Owen Wilson.
No, I don't even mind. I like Owen Wilson,
he's-
but in this movie,
He's broken his nose like 4 times. That's
yeah,
the story.
I'm not a fan
but
of the
in
nose.
this movie, his
It's not
character.
his fault.
I
It's
know,
Liz.
but-
I swear to God,
With
man.
all his money, he can't get plastic surgery.
No,
He's
but it's
that
part of his
sucker.
look.
It's part of his look now.
But no,
I will
he's
agree.
awful in this movie.
He's a very shitty friend. Vince Vaughn is a true friend, and Owen Wilson is a real shit friend. I agree with that
Yeah,
assessment.
I mean, literally, I just wrote like John sucks. Like that's like he's overall a dick to Jeremy throughout most of the movie, their whole weekend.
And he's also completely Jeremy is like, I need to get out of here now.
Okay, because we're gonna get to what happens
Yes.
to Jeremy throughout that
So
weekend.
Jeremy basically seduces Isla Fisher, and
As he usually does, just like the
Right.
usual wedding crasher way.
right, and
She seduces him back kind of in a weird
I
way.
kind of liked it.
Oh,
But-
I up until one certain point,
Yes,
I
yes,
loved
yes.
it.
I liked the
'cause
tables getting
because then
turned.
she's like, "Oh my god, it was my first time," and she kind of like tricks him because now he's like, "Oh my god, what did I get myself
Yeah.
into?"
and
Yeah.
then, but this is by the way,
But she's like
The
total-
crazy laugh was fabulous.
Oh,
She's
it's
phenomenal.
like you better not leave me. I'll find you. Like I love
Isla
that.
Fisher is phenomenal. But by the way, this is the movie that created the term. They came up with the term stage 5 clinker.
Oh yeah, stage 5
The
clinker.
the writer of the screenplay
Yeah.
wrote that was not a thing that people said
I love
prior
it.
to this. Stage 5 clinker. So basically,
And-
she says to him, "Oh, that was my first time. I'm in love with you," and it's literally like they met an hour before.
Because she's like
Right.
manipulating him also, and
Yes.
which is nice for a while that they're both manipulating each other. I
Yes.
like it.
And then when she says
Yeah,
to,
but that's what causes him to fall for her.
yes,
Well,
he
yes.
loves it
It's
so
like,
much.
holy shit, she's my match.
But you know what?
Like,
He's
I'm
so
all
warped.
for it. If that's what knocks the socks off, go for it.
I mean,
until
fucking around
when
with each
she
other, that's
straight
the
up-
basis of your relationship.
yeah, well, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever
I
works
loved-
for them.
I
Until
loved
she
the-
sexually assaults him in like the most egregiously
Yeah.
obvious way. Like there wasn't even. We've done other movies where like that's kind of like I don't know, that's kind of
No.
sexual assault. This one's not kind of
This is
sexual
full
assault.
on.
No,
No,
it's
it
full
was-
on. She ties him to a bed.
Yeah.
Puts
While
a
he's
sock
sleeping.
in his mouth.
While he's
Tapes it.
sleeping.
Yep. He wakes up like this. There's a sock being shoved in his mouth. Tape over it, and then she has sex with him. And while he's protesting.
right while he's
It is
protesting.
like I mean, it's back in
Well,
the day
it's
when it was
actually
like
kind of interesting because it's like, because I've heard this debate by people like, how can a woman possibly rape a man? There
Well,
you go. There you go.
Right.
Because
And-
people say that all the time. That's not possible. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But no.
It
I mean,
very
having
much
had done
happens.
this area of law and specialized in this area of law for many years, like and been like had represented female accusers, male accusers. Oh,
It's
it's
very
prevalent.
possible.
It's quite.
It's very
and
possible.
it's not like very unlikely.
But
like,
by
it's
the
very
way,
possible.
Again,
But what about her assaulting him under the table where they're sitting?
Oh
and-
yeah,
I
when
mean,
she's
that was the
literally giving
whole
him like a
prelude,
hand job
too.
under the
Yeah.
table and
Yeah.
like clearly not like with no consent. He's clearly uncomfortable. Like and yeah, that's all. I mean, a lot of it. She
All
also
of it.
she grabs him his private area multiple times throughout the movie.
Yep.
And then that scene in the bed was just like when I was watching, I was like, I do not remember this in the movie. This is awful.
but I
Because you remember the funny stuff. You
Yeah.
don't remember the stuff that made you go, oh shit.
But you know what? But I bet you that in 2005, people thought it was funny.
It was funny because and I was watching it with
Well,
Alex
because
last
again,
night.
I feel like people didn't really think
And
that was a thing.
And
Right.
that men are like,
Right.
they'll
They're
enjoy
all
it.
happy.
Yes.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like
Whatever.
who's gonna
And that's what he
object?
said. Like when we
Yeah.
were watching it, I was like, I can't believe this. I don't remember this being in the movie. And he's like, well, that's because it came out like back in the day in the early 2000s when men were not able to be assaulted.
Right.
Right.
Like,
And
this
now they
wasn't-
can. And so
this-
it's played for laughs.
Of course it's played for
Right.
laughs. And not only is that part played for laughs, but immediately after that, when she leaves, she's done with him, she leaves, he's still tied to the bed, and freaking Todd appears.
Oh my god.
And so and although I don't think he does anything sexual with him, it's
Oh,
still
it's still
an
assault.
assault and battery.
Yeah.
He is still touching him in a way that makes him uncomfortable, even
Yeah.
when he puts his finger on his little lips and stuff.
No.
Like
Todd is
I love Todd.
Todd is the younger brother.
I know.
And he's vying for everyone's love and attention, especially
But he's
his
like a very
father's.
dark, gloomy, like, he's just
Very emo
like
and goth
super
and-
emo goth, but very tortured soul. He's an artist, and he's like,
Yeah.
Dad, you never loved me, and blah, blah, blah. You just wanted me to play football. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry that I'm embarrassment. And like,
Yes,
you know.
and I guess at
Oh,
one point,
love Todd.
at one point, something is said during dinner, and Vince Vaughn, I guess, kind of defends
Defended
him,
him, yeah.
and that's it. Todd is like, "You are my
He's
soulmate,"
like, I see you.
and Todd very much assaults him,
Oh, yes, very much. And he has to like protest and like,
climbs into his bed naked.
Right, absolutely, and like so that's or like in his underwear, but like it was
Yes.
awful, right,
Yeah.
and so that's also like an assault, a battery. I mean,
100%.
Gloria, that was like straight up sexual assault,
Yep.
false imprisonment, kidnapping. Like it's awful what happened. And then the next day, just to like point out how shitty John is,
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy comes down and is like traumatized and is like, I
Jeremy-
have to get out of here.
But by the way, Jeremy actually uses the word rape.
Yeah, he's like, I was raped last night. And then John is like, no, I'm not leaving. I want to stay because Claire, blah, blah, blah. And then also, not only does he refuse to go home with Jeremy, he
Vince
also
Vaughn, yeah.
makes it so that like forces Jeremy to stay, like convinces him and tries to guilt him into staying. It's like, this guy just told you got raped last night, and you're like, no, I'm not going home with you. And also, you can't go home. You got to stay. No man left behind.
Yeah. He didn't even hear it. He was like, good for you.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, exactly. Like what everybody else would have said. Oh,
Yeah.
you got some.
But
like,
yeah. But your best friend is standing there like begging you to leave and at least saying that he has to go. And you're like, no, you can't leave. You're not allowed to leave me. And like, so you have to stay somewhere that is an uncomfortable situation for you in an unsafe space.
Because this guy's got a crush on this chick that he met the other day. And so he's refusing to leave. Which leads us to Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper plays...
Sack.
Not Zach. Sack.
Sack.
I love that.
He plays Sack. What's her name's Rachel McAdams' very aggressive boyfriend.
What? And like such
is
a
he
prick.
on roids?
Just
like,
a prick.
what is
I
up?
think he is on roids. Gotta be honest. Yeah.
It's amazing because it's like not that long after this, we had the hangover and the glow up. Oh my God.
Maybe
I don't find him attractive.
roids.
That's true. Actually.
That's not defamation, Bradley Cooper.
No. But I was like, I couldn't, like, I remember everyone being shocked because we knew him as this kind of role.
There was a very much
and
a
then
glow up.
he's almost like unrecognizable. I mean, it's very clearly him, but it's like such a like unattractive role.
So he fully
such an
abuses
ass.
Vince Vaughn's character. So much assault.
Which is so funny because he's not the threat. It's Owen Wilson is the threat
Of course.
to him.
Physical assault.
But meanwhile, we are...
He shoots him.
We are meant to... Yes, he does. We are meant
In
to
the
believe...
butt.
But we are supposed to believe that Bradley Cooper's the villain of this story, right? Because he's like pushing him on his ass and he's beating him up and he's super aggressive.
And they make it clear that he is a shitty guy. Like he
Yes.
talks down to his girlfriend.
He does.
He's
not a good
he's
guy.
obnoxious, obviously, and very self-congratulatory, but also like
and self-centered.
and self-centered, but there's also a phone call that he makes to his friend when he asks his friend to look into their business, that
Yes.
these two guys are claiming that they have this business. And during that phone call, it's very clear that Bradley Cooper's character is also cheating on her.
Yes.
Yes. That he,
Oh, God, yeah.
And so, like,
Right,
you know,
so
it's
he's not-
established that he sucks.
100%. He sucks. He's not, by any definition, a good guy.
And then he also, like, forces an engagement on her.
Yes.
And it's like, we're getting married. He never asked her to get married. He makes the announcement
But-
and forces her, like,
but-
into it.
Neither is Owen Wilson.
Right.
Like, in no way
Owen
is...
Wilson's, like, the villain of the
He
movie.
is... Owen Wilson is also a bad guy.
He's a horrible guy.
Owen Wilson, two wrongs don't make a right, we tell our children, right?
No.
And Owen Wilson then takes Eyedrops.
Poor Claire, though. Like, she's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's like.
You know what?
drawing
It's
a
because she's
short
very
straw.
empty because all she has to go on
Who's
is that she's a
less
pick-me girl.
shitty? Well, okay, fine.
No, but
she's a
he
pick-me
wants-
girl.
She's empty and has no depth to her
He
character.
wants more time with Claire, and so he needs to get Bradley Cooper out of the way. And so
And what does
puts,
he do?
He puts
Poisons him.
eyedrops in his water and poisons him.
His wine, I think.
Wine, water,
Just
whatever.
drink. Yeah.
Right. And he straight up poisons him. And the dude is like hunched over a toilet for the rest of the night. Just because he wants to,
be
get
honest
in
with
Claire's
you,
pants.
I never in a million years would have thought that eye drops would do
Does
that.
that actually work? I
don't know.
because it seems like eye drops. It's very easy probably to ingest eye drops if you have them around the house. Like
I
when you
would
have
think
kids
so.
around the
I mean,
house.
I used to wear contacts.
Something like,
kinda-
you know,
So to
drips
me,
down,
it's sort of
drips
a
down.
kid.
Yeah.
I'm putting shit in my eyes all the time, and I'm
I don't
like,
know.
I mean,
Are they like
I
prescription eye
accidentally
drops?
would get. I mean,
Oh, maybe
I don't
a
know.
prescription,
I don't
or maybe
know.
I don't
Look,
know.
all I know is that he poisoned him.
Right.
Whatever it is that he put in there,
And
he
that's
poisoned him.
and he would have a claim
That's a
against
crime.
him. That's a crime.
That's a
and
crime.
It's, also,
It's an assault,
It's an
sure.
assault. It's an assault. It's a poisoning.
yeah,
Yeah.
And we went over this with I think with
I don't think
American
you,
Pie.
I don't think you can make the case that it was an intent to murder because that really wasn't. He just wanted him out of the way.
It doesn't
He
even.
wasn't
But it
trying
doesn't even
kill
have to.
him.
It doesn't murder him. If he gets violently sick, he's still been poisoned.
Yeah, that's still.
It's still poison.
It doesn't have to be murder for him to be charged with
No.
something.
But my point is, I don't think it rises to that level. If something happened, maybe some lesser included.
What if?
But
what
not,
if?
But he got
I don't think
violently
he didn't
ill.
intend to murder him.
But
So,
No,
but
but-
hold on. He didn't intend to murder him. But let's say something went wrong. Let's say Bradley Cooper had some sort of unexpected allergic reaction. What would Owen Wilson be liable for?
Oh, I see. The joke is related to, I didn't know this. There's an urban legend, I guess, that if you put Visine in somebody's drink, that it would give them diarrhea, vomiting,
Oh, well,
nausea,
look at this.
stuff
This
like that.
myth was popularized in prank culture and later confirmed to be dangerous and illegal. It could even lead to coma
or death in high
So,
doses.
Wow.
so now that
Okay.
brings me back to my other
So
question.
you could even say attempted murder.
You
if he doesn't
could, if
die.
that was.
so,
but regardless, it's a crime.
but
even
so
if he
now
doesn't
this
die.
brings me to the question that I had just asked. Let's say that Bradley
Visine
Cooper.
should be taken off the
Yeah,
shelf.
really. Let's say that
like
Bradley
Visine,
Cooper
though.
had some sort of extreme reaction, right? Beyond the nausea and the vomiting and the diarrhea or whatever he had. What's Owen Wilson going to be charged with? Let's say Bradley Cooper dies, falls into a coma and dies. Murder, manslaughter.
Yes. Murder.
He didn't
Felony murder.
He didn't intend to kill him. Is it felony murder?
Well, he committed a crime and
The crime was the murder.
Well, yeah, but like even if it wasn't intent,
Like he didn't rob a bank while giving him the Visine
No,
drops.
but I don't think
No,
it would
but
be.
it's
It
like-
wouldn't be intentional murder, but
It wouldn't be intentional.
Like manslaughter.
Manslaughter, I think, right? But that's wild that he just.
Super wild.
yeah, and even
No care or concern.
but
Like
even if
so
he
single-minded
didn't
that
die-
I'm gonna have time with this girl. I don't care that I'm doing this to this guy because it's an ends to a means.
Right.
Means
Means
to an
to an
end.
yeah,
Sorry.
but even if he didn't die, like still like. It's still criminal behavior.
Sure.
You're still poisoning him and getting
Absolutely.
him violently sick, and it's assault. Like I was like, that's not good.
No.
ugh.
No, and then there's also all the scenes with the mom, Jane Seymour. Is that
Oh my
right?
God.
Oh,
The sexual
yeah.
harassment.
Yes.
By Jane
It
Seymour.
is just like there's sexual
literally-
assault, harassment, rape,
And
rampant.
you know what it
This
is?
family is atrocious.
Because there's this
Like-
whole concept that this movie plays into it, that like if it's the woman being the aggressor, it's just
It's
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's not criminal and it's not improper, it's just funny. So Jane Seymour going into his room topless and being like, feel my boobs, they're fake, I just got them done, is like,
What the hell is wrong with this woman?
I don't even know.
I mean, clearly a lot.
I don't
Let's
know.
be clear.
I don't know. I don't know.
Obviously a lot, and she set eyes on him from the get-go and has been coming on to him from the get-go, right? And then it culminates with her like forcing him to grab her boobs and it's a lot, you guys. This movie's
No, it's a lot.
There's a lot.
And
There's
then
a lot.
and then like Sack is like constantly like the things that he does to Vince Vaughn's character, to Jeremy, besides the fact that he shoots him in the butt during a hunting thing.
See, now Jeremy,
And he does it on purpose because
the
he
good
doesn't
guy
know that
here.
he's going to hit Jeremy. He thinks, but like John moves out of the way
Yeah,
right at
yeah,
the last
yeah.
second. But he did point his gun and shoot in their direction.
Yeah.
He also uses that excessive force to tackle him multiple times in the game,
In the
such that
games,
he literally
yep.
can't get up or breathe.
And
By the way, John sucks so bad.
Yeah,
when
and
he's
Owen
like, what are you
Wilson's
doing?
like,
Get up, get up.
get your shit together. We've got things to do here. Get up.
What a horrible friend. I hate him.
Yeah.
And so that whole thing, I mean, the things that
Oh,
they
Wilson, come on, our podcast.
And then also the grandma goes after him with a shotgun, and they have to be like, Grandma, like, don't chase him with a gun.
That grandma is so cute, by the way.
She's from The Wedding Singer.
From The Wedding Singer. I love
The
her.
rapping grandma.
She always plays
Said
the
a
funny
hip
grandma.
hop, a hippie too.
I love that.
She always plays the funny grandma. She played the very inappropriate grandma in this one.
Yes.
She said some highly inappropriate
Yeah,
things.
she's very inappropriate. The things that she says
She's
about gay people,
part of a
about
highly
lesbians.
inappropriate family.
It's
Let's
a very
be clear.
inappropriate, but then
But
she
they
I don't
pretend.
understand. Wait, now that I'm thinking about it, he's a high level like person in the federal government.
Yeah.
And all this shit passed like the
I know.
background.
How do people not know that this is happening?
And the clearance and the scrutiny
Makes
'cause,
you think, doesn't
I
it?
mean,
Well,
holy cow.
the Kennedys. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's got their secrets, but don't go after me, Kennedys. And so, but she goes after him with like a shotgun. She chases him out of the house, pointing a shotgun, about to shoot him, and someone stops. And so, I mean, poor Jeremy is just put to the ringer.
Yes, he's caught up in all of this because his best friend like just can't get over himself, and he's caught up in all of this. And then, of course, obviously, it's revealed at the end or somewhere along the way that Gloria has been playing him the whole time.
And then you're like, okay, great.
other than
So let's
Other
talk
than
about
sexual
that.
assault.
That's
Yeah.
a little disturbing.
they're both disturbing.
They are. They
but,
are.
and like it's clear the message is they are both so warped they're meant for each other.
Right, and I just thought and I also thought the entire Cleary family, like the sexual harassment and hostile environment, like Gloria becomes obsessively attached to him,
Yeah.
forcing unwanted like physical intimacy with
Yes.
him, emotional manipulation. Todd is aggressive and sexually threatening towards Jeremy.
Yes.
So there's a lot of sexual harassment.
Jane Seymour.
Stalking. Gloria follows Jeremy, shows up uninvited, ignores clear boundaries. Like just everywhere he is,
No,
she
she has
pops
no
out.
boundaries.
And sexual assault, inappropriate touching, unwanted sexual advances by Todd would cross into harassment or battery. And then everything else that every other person in his family is doing, whether it's pointing guns, like this, it's like a house of horror.
Yes.
It's a house of horror.
No, you're right. It is.
It's awful. And so, yeah, it's just, I don't even know. If you were a guest in that home for that weekend,
I'd
go
wanna
home
leave.
with so many causes of action for your complaint that you
I just
can't
wanna-
file.
I just want to go home.
I know, I'd want to go
wanna
home.
go home.
And that's what Jeremy wanted, except his shitty friend John is like, no. And so then everything gets blown up and they realize, you know,
because,
they get found out
Bradley
because
Cooper finds
makes
out.
that phone call and all that. And so then it's like, you know, oh no, and now you have like kind of like you see what happens thereafter, and there's issues between, you know, like John and Jeremy have a falling out.
Well, because Jeremy continues to date Gloria, Isla Fisher.
And he's like upset about this, even though he was trying to date Claire.
Right.
Because he's
And-
a hypocrite.
And Claire wants nothing to do with him.
Right.
Rightly so. But at the end, spoiler alert, I guess, it's what we had talked about in the You've Got Mail episode, that women in these movies are so quick to forgive the
Awful.
men who have wronged them.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did an incredibly shitty thing.
No, yeah.
Like-
shitty. First of all, both of them, Jeremy and John, the whole they're just shitty to women.
Yeah.
Jeremy, it's like fine. He finds his equal with Gloria,
Yeah,
basically.
and I guess
so we can like
she-
kind of look past everything, I suppose.
I mean, I don't know. I guess
I'm
she
not
forgives
as bothered
him.
by
yeah.
those two.
Because they seem to be on the same page about it all.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you're on the same page about it all, I don't know, who are we to
But then,
judge type
but
of
then
thing.
look, not only is it that like she's gonna take John back, but the way that it happens is John. So he has an epiphany because he goes and visits this guy Chaz that they keep talking
Will
about.
Ferrell.
Yeah, and the big
Fabulous.
reveal is
Ma!
that yeah.
But I don't think
the big reveal is that
I don't think we could
Will
skip
Ferrell.
ahead and not touch on John and his mental breakdown and the crazy
Yeah.
ass shit that he does.
Well, during his mental breakdown,
Right.
like he gets really depressed, and what he does is he continues the wedding crashing, but he does it poorly, like the opposite. Instead of being a fun addition to the wedding,
Yeah.
he starts ruining weddings. He is disruptive.
kind of like again the wedding singer
Yes.
when Adam
Yes.
Sandler
Yeah, when he
is
gets into
like-
his demise,
and singing
yeah.
"Love Stinks."
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
right. So now it's like property damage. He's falling into cakes. The band. He's
And
ruining
now
weddings.
we're talking about
Lawsuits.
real
Yeah.
damages
Yes.
Lawsuits
here.
up the wazoo.
The damages are building. The criminal trespass, the damages civilly, criminally, we're up in the ante.
He's ruining
now.
all these weddings.
He's stalking her still.
Yes.
You know, so we're now into a heightened level
Right.
where he's stalking her.
He's awful.
Yeah.
He has no redeeming qualities at
right.
any point of this movie.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Zero redeeming qualities. And at this point, if you're Rachel McAdams' character, you're getting a restraining order.
Right.
I would think.
And instead, what
She thinks
turns
it's
things around
endearing.
for her is that he comes to her sister's wedding.
Yes.
So Gloria and Jeremy are getting married.
Which, again, let's talk about the shit train friend there,
Uh-huh.
okay? He wants him to be at his wedding and be his best man, but no, I'm too busy wallowing in my own
And also
shit
he's
that I
ang-
created.
And he's angry when he's like, "You're
Yeah.
getting married," like he's angry at him because
Yeah.
I'm dealing with all this shit and you're getting married. Like you can't even be happy for your friend that he's getting
Right.
married.
No,
After
because
all
he's a
that
shit
crap
friend.
He
He's
wants
put
you.
me
He wants you to be his best man.
Right.
Clearly, he has not during this time. He has not been at the bachelor party
Nope,
or any other kind of
nothing.
events that celebrate
And
this.
and these are lifelong friends since they were kids.
Since
That's
they were
established
kids,
in the
they're
beginning.
like brothers.
Yeah.
This asshole ends up just coming to the wedding at like the last second, interrupting the
Yes.
ceremony, and then when like Jeremy, for whatever reason, decides to just forgive him right away, and he's like, "No, let him in. He's my best man." And then he comes and stands up there, and he can't even let his best friend get through the ceremony. Instead, he's like, "Hey, Claire," and
Yes,
starts
it's all about him.
It's all about him. He uses it as an opportunity to talk to the bride's sister while the two of like the bride and groom are in the middle of a wedding ceremony.
Yes.
I was
You
livid.
selfish prick.
What an asshole! I was so angry during that part. I was like, "It's his fucking wedding. It's a ceremony." I'd be so angry at that point.
And everyone thinks it's just a very endearing romantic moment. This is his
And then
grand
also,
gesture to
fuck
get
Claire
her back.
too, because she just like instead of like just ignoring him and standing there next to her sister as
Yeah.
like the maid of honor, she's like, "You know what? I can't do this." And she starts walking down the
Right.
aisle, leaving her sister's
Don't be
wedding during the
dramatic.
ceremony. Like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
get over yourself
Right.
and just stand there and grin and bear it and talk to him later and be like, "Oh, that wasn't cool." But
Right.
instead, you're like, "I'm gonna walk out and
then
make a
of-
scene."
And of course, then obviously Bradley Cooper steps in, and it becomes a whole thing where she says, "I can't marry you," and there's
and then
like
he's
a
like,
fist fight
and
at
then
the
he
wedding.
becomes like verbally abusive. He's like, "Get the fuck up there," and all that.
Yeah.
Oh god, I was so angry. The
It's
whole
just-
scene made me so angry.
It's just a lot. It's like a snowball.
It's a bunch of unlikable
crap.
people, and you're
It
not
really
really.
is.
Besides Gloria, who, although she's a
Well-
rapist, besides Gloria and Jeremy, I'm rooting for no one else in this movie. I hate all of them. Yeah,
I was thinking maybe the grandma, but no, not even the grandma. No.
I mean, Christopher Walken's kind of fine. Besides the
he's
fact that
alright.
it's like, maybe like, like a little bit problematic about his son, but he does seem to love his son. I do love Todd. I will say there are some things that we quote about this movie, and they weren't in the movie when we watched it last night. And it turns out it's like it was from a director's cut, an extended version. Because especially with Todd, because my husband and I are always quoting Todd, oh my God, like there's like something about like he yells at the ocean at one point, and it's like. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's
I don't
a
remember.
whole.
But was it something that they had to cut out because it was?
I think
no
for
longer
time
acceptable?
because it is in the. No, it's like it's just like I don't know. Death, you are my bitch lover. Like there's that line. Death, you are my bitch lover. Like
maybe they didn't think it was like relevant to the movie.
I guess that there's such good Todd moments, and I'm like, wait, we've been quoting this for like 20 years, and those lines that we quote where he's like yelling at the ocean.
Is that like when we were being gaslit that we think certain things happened and
like
then
the Mandela effect,
and we come to find out that it wasn't really
happen.
true, and an entire generation of us are remembering this shit wrong.
Yes.
Yes, except that we looked it up and they were in the extended version, and that must have been the one that we had, like DVD back in the day.
Okay.
But so, that's how it ends. But then also, we can't skip over the Chaz thing because Will Ferrell is this granddaddy of wedding crashing, and they refer to him throughout the movie. Don't forget what Chaz taught.
And apparently funerals too.
Right.
Well, he's the one who started this initiative, if you will. And he's the one who created these rules.
And they treat him, they talk about him like a god.
Yes, and he brought these two idiots into the fold and taught them everything he knows.
And the big reveal is that like he comes down the stairs and it's like, it's Will Ferrell
of course.
in a robe, living with his mom, meatloaf.
Mom in the basement.
And
I mean,
he's such a loser. And then he tells Owen Wilson, he tells John that now he's moved on to funerals.
Yes.
And now that to me opens up a different like legal issue. Is like
awful.
Such clear, intentional, emotional distress claims that you can make against Chaz. Like he crashes funerals and manipulates vulnerable women in their most vulnerable position.
Yeah.
Like he's coercing women while they're emotionally compromised. They're literally at the funeral of a loved one, and it's exploitation of someone under emotional distress, and that just would.
Which is worse than the wedding, you're saying?
I think
it's
so.
worse.
I mean, it's in the same kind of category,
it's worse because
but it is worse.
It's like the eggshell client thing. You're taking them in their vulnerable state, so you know
I think it's much worse because I think when someone's going to a wedding, everyone's going to have fun. Everyone is going
let's
to
go hook up.
meet some people, go hook up.
You are literally exploiting this person's vulnerable position now.
Right.
At this funeral.
And he takes Owen Wilson to a funeral with him, and they're both just like such sad, pathetic sacks. Oh, no pun intended, sack. But they're just awful, and the whole time they think that Will Ferrell is this like godlike hero, and he's just
well, it's kind of that thing how like you remember things fondly and then you watch them again and you're
Will
like,
Ferrell's still hilarious in that whole scene, but Ma, where's that meatloaf? I never know what she's doing back there. Like, he plays it well.
That's a good one.
I will also note that like after the wedding ceremony and everything, now like John and Claire are together and whatever, like. Did Gloria and Jeremy not have a wedding reception because they just ride off in this convertible with Claire and John after the ceremony?
Because Jeremy knows better than to have a reception that people are going to crash.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
So,
they're like, should we go get something to eat? And it's like, are you not having a wedding?
But
like,
also, why are you... these two just got married. Can you leave them alone? Like,
I know.
Why do you have to get into the car with them?
I know. No, I completely agree with that. One little note, this has nothing to do with the law, but when John first meets Mr. Cleary, Christopher Walken at the wedding, he's like trying to impress him by talking about like the economic stuff that like
because
he had read
he
about.
Apparently actually really is a fan of Christopher Walken's character because
I thought he just did his homework.
No, because when Jeremy presented this to him, he said, "I found this is like the daddy of all weddings. This is like your hero. This is your guy." So Owen Wilson was actually a fan of his.
So he's talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, that report you did on the blah 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 of Micronesia," and he says Micronesia, and I couldn't help but think that that was a callback to Zoolander, which had come out
I love
years.
Zoolander.
Micronesia.
The Prime Minister of Micronesia. And it was 4 years prior. It was when
Must have been.
Zoolander came out. Came out in
Right.
2001.
That's
Was it really
right.
2001?
Yeah, it came out in 2001. I know because it came out 2 weeks after 9/11, and that's why I didn't do well in the theater because nobody was really
Nobody's
looking for a
going.
laugh.
Yeah.
And then it had like a second life on like
Oh my
DVD.
God.
Zoolander.
that
My
was
husband
VHS.
and I
I
quote.
love-
Zoolander is my favorite of all those movies.
Oh, he's so
it's
hot right
inside
now.
the computer.
The files are inside the
computer, every time.
Zoolander is maybe one top 5 favorite comedy of all time.
Fantastic.
It's good.
So as soon
I'm
as
sure we
Micronesia,
can find
I was like
something to ruin.
Micronesia, and it's like the same
I
people.
didn't make the connection.
Oh, I was
Wow,
so-
thank you for that. I didn't either. That was
yeah.
good. That was good.
Well, guys, I don't know, man. Every time we take a beloved classic and we just
I mean, this one I really actually think we did destroy it because I used to like this
did.
movie, and now I'm like, fuck everyone here.
yeah, right.
Hate everything here.
Yeah, not a fan. Not
How
a fan.
many crashed broken champagne bottles? Zero.
Zero.
You all suck.
Horrible.
Everyone sucks. And
Horrible.
No one deserves a happy ending here.
But you know what? It's a really good movie.
It's a great movie. Listen,
Holy.
there were some laughs, but oh my god, this movie.
The laughs were more back then. than now.
Yeah.
Do you know sometimes, as much as I love this podcast, sometimes I'll rewatch a movie and I'll be like, damn it, we're really ruining.
I really wish
good
I.
shit.
I almost wish I didn't rewatch this movie because it like existed
It's
fondly
better
in my
your
memory,
head.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes like I'll turn it on and I'll be like, oh man, I don't want to ruin
No,
it.
this movie did not hold up well
No.
at all.
No,
Not
no,
at
I'm
all.
actually worried to even suggest that we do Zoolander.
I know, but I do love Zoolander.
You know what?
Zoolander's
I've
great.
rewatched that movie many times
Yeah.
in more recent history, and
we can
I
do
still
it.
love it.
We can do it. We can do it.
Could I? Okay, no, I can't even tell you guys. I'll tell you guys
You'll
after.
tell it
because
after
I
we
gotta
turn off the
save it for
camera.
when we do it because I
All
gotta
right.
do it for the podcast.
Fair.
But it's a great line in this movie. Love it.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like, follow, and subscribe. We are on YouTube, Let's Ruin It Podcast. We are on Instagram, Let's Ruin It Podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. I don't know, wherever Josh puts us, that's
We're
where
in a
we
lot
are.
of places.
We're everywhere.
Find us. Find us.
find us.
I'll
please.
find you.
Guys, we're very funny.
Yeah. And, tune in next time and we'll ruin another beloved
Send us your
classic.
suggestions.
Absolutely. See you on the flip side.
Bye, guys. Thank you.